Okay, good afternoon, everyone, and thank you for coming out to Kennesaw State today on this historic day where the football program signs its first recruiting class. It's a class of 29 players that Brian Bohannon will get into when he comes up here. I want to thank you all for attending today, and Brian will give a rundown of the class, and following that, there'll be a question and answer period. And after that question and answer period, those wishing for one-on-one interviews, there'll be some time available for that. And once again, thanks for coming. And now I'd like to introduce Brian Bohannon, head coach of Kennesaw State.
Man, what a great day. It's, we talked about first and all the good things going on at Kennesaw State, and today is an awesome day. I want to thank everybody for being here, especially the media, for being here today. And I see some members of the athletic department here. Thank you for being here as well. We started on this journey back in late March, and we sat down as a staff. There was 7 of us total in the room at that time, and it was about what we wanted in a Kennesaw State football player. And we talked about the core values of not only being a player that can help us win games on Saturdays, but also a man of great character and with a great academic resume. And those were the core values that we started this journey with. And it's kind of culminated today, with the 29 signees we have at Kennesaw State. We brought all these young men on campus to see what I called was the best kept secret in the South. They were amazed at what was here. And I think that's a tribute to the leadership at Kennesaw State University. Dr. Papp, and the members of the administration and the faculty and the staff. Vaughn Williams, an unbelievable athletic director, the best in the country. That kind of leadership is what makes an institution. And I can't say thank you enough to those people that are involved and how much they've done for this program and given us a chance to sell a great product. And the word's getting out on this product, I can promise you. The word's getting out. And I tell you the other thing that's been probably the most impressive thing to me in this journey is, I knew what was here at Kennesaw when I came through and what impressed me. But better yet, when I went out in the community, how excited everybody in the community was about Kennesaw State and Kennesaw State football and the community involvement. And as part of this journey, we would tell the recruits, hey, we've sold 2,300 season tickets. This thing's for real. People are excited. This is a big deal to the community. And to have Fifth Third Bank, take that first pledge, and then Wellstar and Superior Plumbing follow. There's just so many positive things that have gone on that the kids see it as well. And I think that's been the great selling point, not just the facilities, but the leadership and the people at this institution and this community and how excited they are about everything going on. So there's 5 coaches, and I'm going to call their names out. Grant Chestnut, Liam Klein, Shane Bowen, Tim Glanton, and Brian Newberry, and myself. We're the ones that got this thing going. We've hired some new coaches to this point, but we went on a journey, and the journey was to sign between 25 and 30 young men to be the first ever signing class at Kennesaw State. And today, we signed 29 young men that contained all those core values, and everything we talked about from every position and everything we were trying to accomplish, we hit in the first class. Not only from great character to great academic resume, but great players. This class is awfully talented, folks. It's just not the first. This is a very talented class. I'm going to read you a few things about this class just to give you an idea of some statistics. 19 of these young men will have a 3.0 or higher at the end of this semester. 1 high school All-American, a Georgia All-Classification Player of the Year, 14 All-State players, 3 state champions, 2 state runner-ups, 2 All-Star Game Most Valuable Players, 3 Atlanta Journal All-Area Team Selections, 2 All-Middle Georgia Team Selections. That's pretty impressive stats for a first-ever signing class at Kennesaw State. I'm excited about it. I'm always excited for that I speak. My eyes get big, and I'm fired up. We have been, and these guys have worked awfully hard. I'm awfully proud of our staff and what they've accomplished and what we have ahead of us. This is just the beginning. This is the beginning. And things are only on the up and up at Kennesaw State. And I'm proud and honored and blessed to be the head football coach here and have the opportunity to work with such great people. It's an awesome institution, and today is just a great day. And the excitement from these young people is infectious. The excitement from our staff is infectious. And we're really excited about these 29 signees. At this point in time, so I don't stand up here and talk too long, I want to open up for any questions that you guys might have about our signing class or any of these young men.
Is there because it's the inaugural class and the first class, is there a position group really try to target to build a team around?
Well, there's no doubt, and we talked about the lines of scrimmage on both sides of the ball, the offense and defensive line. Those were key components for us in this first class. Those areas are more developmental than necessarily maybe a skill kid at times. So that was an emphasis for us, is to get the most depth we could on the offense and defensive line, and we did that. I mean, we got 13 kids right now on the offense and defensive line, and I'm excited about that. That's probably the area I'm most excited about. When you're watching a highlight tape, the skill kids are always going to be the ones, but truthfully, at the end of the day, the guys down in the trenches are going to make the things happen. And I feel like we did a great job, and I think we hit a home run up front.
Is that something that you'll have to continue for the second class, starting football and starting your first game in 2015?
I think so, yeah, definitely. We'll continue that, and we'll continue to plug in maybe some gaps we have. As we go, we want to get a little maturity on the football team next year as well. But we'll continue to build each year. This is not just a one-year plan. This is a 5-year plan, and we want to build this thing the right way. This is not a quick fix for 1 or 2 years. This is for the long haul.
Can you talk about the depth at quarterback? You signed 3, looks like pretty good quarterbacks for the option system that you want to install.
Well, we definitely want a dual threat quarterback. There was no doubt, and that's in any offense you're in, the quarterback, he's the guy that's going to make you go. And we went out and, gosh, we couldn't have hit any better 3 quarterbacks than what we got. I mean, we could recruit for 2-3 years and it wouldn't matter. The 3 we got are outstanding. Chandler Burks, Jake McKenzie, and Quez Parks. I mean, we couldn't have done any better. Those are not only 3 great players, but they're 3 quality kids that are leaders. These guys bring the intangibles to the table that's going to give you a chance to be successful. Not only what you're going to see on a highlight tape, but outside of that, what gives you a chance to win is the intangibles and the leadership qualities that these guys bring. So we're excited about that. And they're all great kids, and they're pulling for each other and be great competition.
Does this feel real to you now?
Yeah, it's definitely getting closer to where, when you actually get kids on campus and you get back to a little normalcy. But this is a culmination of a lot of hard work, Doug. And I give our staff a lot of credit, and the team at Kennesaw State. This is a team thing. Everybody chips in to help each other out and do the best we can at Kennesaw State, and so it's just a lot of hard work. And it's I want to make sure I praise these guys a bunch, because it's a culmination of a lot of hard work.
What's the breakdown in terms of the recruit areas? How many outside of Georgia?
We had we signed 29 and 26 from the state of Georgia, 2 from Alabama, 1 from Tennessee. As we talked about from day one, Georgia's home base, and that will never change here. Now, we'll go outside the state to fill needs, but we are going to recruit the state of Georgia. We're going to cover it. And that's what we set out to do. And, the proof's in what you have on paper right now, and these kids that have signed, that's our goal. That's what we're going to do every year. So we got 26 of the 29 in state. Yeah, we signed 3 kids from South Paulding. I have to give Coach Glanton some props on that. He had an opportunity to coach those kids at South Paulding, and they're not only they're great kids and great players. And we signed 1 at North Paulding, Jace White, and he's an outstanding player as well. But those kids bought into what we were selling. They bought into Kennesaw State. I mean, it's really, when you look at all these kids that signed today, they bought into the vision. They bought into what. Again, it was the best kept secret. They didn't know what was here. And when they got here and they saw it and they felt it, they jumped in, and then it just kind of dominoed from there. Once you got a couple in, they started spreading the word. And then next thing you know, everybody's going, man, you got to go see that place. There's something going on there. And next thing you know, we're sitting here today with an unbelievable class.
In terms of Cobb County, Cherokee County, I know it's kind of your baseball in Cobb and Cherokee. Are you happy or excited with the kids you got in from those areas?
No doubt.
How many did you get?
No doubt. We had 2 kids from Cobb and 4 from Paulding. So we got 6 total from that greater Cobb area we talked about. And there's no doubt we're excited about that. Those kids are not only, again, they're great kids and great players, and they're close to home. And so, yes, we're definitely excited about that.
Are you disappointed that you didn't get more?
You know what? I think you can look at recruiting in a lot of different ways. I think you can always look at what you didn't get, or maybe the guys you wish you would have got. But I prefer to look at the 29 guys we got and how excited I am about those guys being here. I mean, there's a lot of different ways you can look at that stuff. And right now, I'm so fired up about the 29 that signed today. That is my main focus, is those guys.
You decided on what defensive system you're going to run. I don't think we had settled it last time we talked.
Yeah, Coach Newberry, we're going to be a 4-2-5, which basically for us, you're looking at, 5 DBs essentially. Our Sam is really a nickel. So we're essentially going to have 5 DBs. We have the ability to get to an odd front within that scheme as well. I think that'll give us the ability to match up with the way offenses are today with the right personnel. So, when you look at our breakdown by position, you see 6 DBs and you see 2 linebackers. Well, really, the way we're set up, a couple of those safeties are probably going to end up being linebackers in our system. So that's when we sat down and looked at who we are and who we're going to be, we kind of broke it down from there as far as positionally goes.
Is it easier to recruit for that because there's more probably safety-sized kids, quarterback-sized kids in the line, linebacker-sized kids?
Could be. I think you recruit to, the thing we want to be here, we want to be fast and athletic at every position. I'd rather take a kid that's undersized that can move than take a big kid that's a little bit slow. We want to be fast. We want to be athletic. And everything we do is going to kind of revolve around that. When you look at that scheme on defense, that's what you're doing. You're getting the best athletes on the field that you can. And that's the nature of it. It used to be where you could just, swap personnel in the middle of the game. Well, you can't do that anymore because people tempo you out of that and you can't do it. So Coach Newberry and his scheme, the way it's set up, is we're going to have that in all the time.
How big of a coup do you feel like it is to grab Corey Clark, who was the state player of the year for all last time?
Well, there's no doubt he's a heck of a player. I mean, he's a phenomenal player. 15-0, state championship from my high school. I'm just going to throw that in. Yeah, it's a great get. I mean, there's no doubt. But you know what? He's a great one. So are the other 28. And I mean, there's 29 great football players. I mean, I love every one of them. Excited about every one of them. And they're all going to play a key role in the success of Kennesaw State football.
And you mentioned from your hometown, your high school, do you feel like that may have been a factor in him wanting to join ranks?
Yeah, it probably had a little factor. Just I went to high school with his daddy. So I think he felt comfortable with that. So that was definitely a factor. And, things just worked out right. We got him up on campus, and he looked around, his daddy looked around. They said, wow, I didn't know all this was here. And there again, he's looking at, you know what? I could be the first. I could be the guy for the next 4 years, 5 years at Kennesaw State, and I can create a legacy of my own at a different place. So I think those things are what our guys bought into, and that's the special part of it.
Talk about how many high schools your coaches get.
Yeah, we started out, the 4 of us. There was 4 of us at the time. And I've talked about this before. There was 450 high schools in the state of Georgia, and we probably hit 95% of them in the spring. And then once we started to get that list, and we continued to hit those schools, not every one of them, but the ones we knew we had guys we were going to recruit, we continued to recruit those schools. And, you have a staff of 10, and 11 would be myself, and we were working on half of that, and these guys were carrying, a few more kids than normal they were having to recruit, which takes a lot of time and effort and energy, but, they again did a great job and showed today. No, we're done for now. Yeah, that's the 29 that we had mapped out, and as we got further in this process. We talked between 25 and 30, and so now we're done right now. We're not holding it.
How many preferred walk-ons?
Well, what we'd like to do, Doug, is come fall we would like to have 80, a minimum of 80, and that's really to get enough per position so we can practice. So we'll try to fill out those slots from here on. There's a lot of guys in the last 48 hours that have, want to get involved. So we'll sort that out here in the next few weeks to finish out the roster.
Special place kicker and punter, that's just going to be a walk-on tryout, or you don't?
Right. We could do preferred or tryout or walk-on or a combination of all that. And we're definitely going to see if we can find some quality guys that can come in and do that this year. Not putting a scholarship into that, obviously, as you can read this year, but we'll move forward with that when we find the right one that can do it. We'll definitely look into a scholarship opportunity there.
Have any of your recruits graduated high school early and might be able to get on campus this spring?
None of them have. We're in a little different situation. Our timeline is set up to come in the fall. When we mapped out the timeline for when we're starting bringing kids on campus, it was the fall of 14. So some of them have mentioned they're ready to get up here and get going. I'm sure there's some kids here that are going to try out in March that are students here. As a matter of fact, there's I think at last count we had 105 signed up to try out for those that are enrolled in school here in March, which is pretty impressive number of guys that want to try out. So that'll be March 22nd. But as far as guys coming in early, no, we won't. Our guys will not report till school starts in fall.
And has the staff already put together that schedule, that plan for the fall season in terms of when they work out, everything else?
Yeah, we've mapped the plan out. There's 44 opportunities for some football-related activity. And basically how we'll do that is it'll be in segments. So we'll go 2 weeks and then take a week of just lifting and conditioning, and then we'll go 3 weeks, and then we'll take a week for just lifting and conditioning. We'll try to segment it off, and that'll be 4 days a week. So we're going to try to break it up because we don't have a game. We don't have that's a long time without playing, so we're going to be creative in how we go about making sure we keep the kids and coaches engaged for that period of time without a game to look forward to. We've talked about some different creative ways we can, get the fans and the community involved on Saturdays. Anything we can do to get people involved, and I think that'll be a part of as we look at. But we've mapped that out, and we haven't gone into detail exactly what we're doing every day. Truthfully, we haven't had a chance to sit down and talk X's and O's since we've been here. We'll start that starting next week when we come back in, and we'll have a full staff in place now, and we'll sit down and start clinicking ourselves basically to get on the same page for what we're doing, offense, defense, special teams, the whole deal. So when those kids come in, the message again is going to be singular as far as what they're hearing from each coach. It'll be the same. So we haven't even done that yet, but we'll start that here next week.
Talk about the reaction, I guess, in the office. The fax came in. How early were you guys in the office today? Which fax was the first you received? Which letter came in?
Yeah, Vaughn slept here last night, in case y'all didn't know. But I don't think he slept any. I got in here probably about 6:20, 6:30. I think most guys were in here about that time. Faxes rolled in at 7:01, and they were done by, the last one was in, I think, about 10:45, 11 o'clock, I can't remember. But, yeah, it was there was 28 by 9:30, 9:45. And then we had one that was Mom forgot to sign. She had to run home. She came back and got it signed.
Do you remember the first one that came in?
Chandler Burks, quarterback for South Paulding High School. First commitment and first signee ever.
Y'all gonna do anything with that? Can you do anything with that?
I don't know, Doug. You got me on that one. I hadn't thought about that one yet. Yeah, Bob. Talked to him today on the phone during signing day. Talked to him, and he was unbelievably excited about everything going on. And he was saying, "Please tell everybody congratulations, great job," and just how excited he was about everything going on with signing day. But I did. without a doubt. So we don't play in the fall, so everybody red shirts. It's a red shirt. We prefer to call it a developmental year because really that's what it is. You know, normally when you redshirt at a program that's already established, you're on a scout team and you read off a card and you really don't get a lot of quality reps. Well, here we're taking these kids and we're going to develop them. Not only develop them on the field, we're going to develop them off the field and in the classroom, and to where we can give them the best chance to be successful. I think that's a unique opportunity we have in this first year, is really to develop these guys in all three facets of their life and get them off to a great start. You know, the transition from high school to college, no matter what your grades, is a tough transition. And so I think the way this is set up, I think it's going to help us and make sure we stay on top of these young men to get off to a good start. Again, thank you all for being here. It's a great, great day. It's an awesome day for Kennesaw State and Kennesaw State football, and thank you all again for being here.
Anyone who wants one-on-one interviews with any of the coaching staff, they'll be available. Just let me or one of the people in athletics communications know, and we'll take care of you. And I have some releases here with the entire signing class, the breakdown and all that stuff. So it's available for you. And again, thank you all for coming. And hopefully we'll see some of you this evening at the celebration.